Andy Landers and Rebecca Lobo reflect on how No. 6 seed Oregon State was able to win over No. 3 seed Tennessee. 2-16. Knoxville. 10. For the first time in the history of the NCAA tournament, a second consecutive Sweet 16 will take place without the program that helped make March matter. And for the first time ever, a span of 58 games, Tennessee exited on its home court. One of the sport's most recent success stories was a fitting team to end both runs. Down double digits early, No. 6 seed Oregon State rallied for a 66-59 win against third-seeded Tennessee on Sunday afternoon. The Lady Vols exit in the second round for the second year in a row, while the Beavers advanced to the Sweet 16 for the third season in a row and their third time in program history. Editors picks Carter's late 3 caps Texas A&M comeback win. Chennedy Carter, the ESPNW Freshman of the Year, scored 32 of her 37 points in the second half, including a game-winning three-pointer with 3.2 seconds left to lift the fourth-seeded Aggies to a thrilling comeback over No. 5 DePaul. No. 1 seed Louisville is first to reach Sweet 16. Those concerns about Louisville stars Asia Durant, Maisha Hines-Allen were put to rest Sunday, as both stars were sharp and got plenty of help in the Cardinals' second-round victory over Marquette. Louisville advances to the Sweet 16 in Lexington. Mid-majors ruled Day 2 of Women's NCAA tournament. Talking about parity is tricky on the same day. UConn scored nearly 100 points in a half, but No. 12 seed Florida Gulf Coast and 11 seeds Central Michigan, Buffalo and Creighton ensured mid-majors will be represented in the second round. 2 related. Sophomore Michaela Pivac led Oregon State with 18 points, while All-American center Marie Golic totaled 14 points and 12 rebounds. In her final game for Tennessee, Mercedes Russell led the Lady Vols with 21 points and 14 rebounds. Only Shamik Holtzclaw had more double-doubles at Tennessee. More to come from Knoxville. But here's how it looked at the final buzzer. Player of the game. She didn't have the biggest line in the box score, but Oregon State wouldn't have won this game without Katie McWilliams playing every minute. The junior guard finished with 12 points and 6 assists. She was steady in handling the ball against Tennessee's pressure and patient getting Oregon State through its offense. How it was won. Oregon State committed 6 turnovers and scored just 9 points in the first quarter. It committed just 7 turnovers the rest of the way, on a day when they dug themselves a big hole and didn't hit many three-pointers, typically a big part of their arsenal. The Beavers got back into the game and eventually earned the win by acclimating to Tennessee's defensive pressure and valuing possession. That it has a lot to do with the backcourt of Aaliyah Goodman, McWilliams, Pivac and Kat Tudor, when Oregon State made a 13-2 run in the second quarter to erase the early double-digit deficit. Much of it came with Golic on the bench in foul trouble. Despite no real post-scoring threat to replace her, Oregon State's guards continued to run the pick-and-roll or pick-and-flare sets they always run, with such precision, no matter the history of the opponent. The defensive pressure of the early deficit. The backcourt never panicked. Marie Golic helped Oregon State get its first win over Tennessee. The Lady Vols failed to reach the Sweet 16 in back-to-back seasons for the first time. AP Photo, Wade Payne. Stat of the game. Along with Notre Dame, Tennessee was one of only 2 teams that Oregon State coach Scott Rook had faced multiple times without a win. Now it's only the Fighting Irish. That list obviously doesn't encompass every basketball power, but it's a good sign of how far Oregon State has come from arguably the worst program in Division I when he arrived. What's next? The academic calendar says it's finals week for the winter term at Oregon State, but the basketball team has an appointment in Lexington, Kentucky. The Beavers will await the winner of Sunday's second-round game between No. 2 Baylor and No. 7 Michigan. Oregon State defeated Baylor in a regional final in 2016 to reach its first Final Four. If Stanford also advances, Lexington would host two Pac-12 teams for the second time in 3 years. That matchup would also put Oregon State's 6'5" Gulich in the unusual position of giving away size for a second game in a row, this time against Baylor's 6'7" Kalani Brown.